Let's introduce ourselves to our own body here for a few minutes and just begin to settle in and begin to unplug from the day any discordant energy maybe that we've picked up through the day. Just begin to breathe in and out. Nice relaxed breath. And just think of creating space. Most of what's inside of the body and inside of all objects is space. So it shouldn't be too hard to begin to create space inside. The breath will do a really good job to slow the mind down. And as the mind slows down, the body also slows down. Just continue for a moment to breathe your normal breath. It's your breath of life. And then let's bring our hands together at the heart center now, and we'll tune in the normal way. So take a deep inhale and then exhale and inhale and exhale completely now. Force the air out with the abs and then inhale now to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adguru Namo, Jugadguru Namo, Satguru Namo, Siddhi Gurudeva Namo. Adguru Namo, Jugadguru Namo, Satguru Namo, Siddhi Gurudeva Namo. Adguru Namo, Jugadguru Namo, Satguru Namo, Siddhi Gurudeva Namo. Now take a deep inhale and suspend the breath up at the top. Pull up on the abs. Root lock, abs up and in. Suspend the breath momentarily. And then go ahead and exhale now and just relax your hands down to your lap or to your knees. And just pause momentarily. We're going to begin the class today with a couple of pranayams. And the first pranayama is I'll just explain a little bit about it. It's called a nadi cleansing. And the nadis are basically the nerve endings. And the nadi cleansing, you basically have the ida in the left and the pingala nerve. And then they continue to spiral around each other and around the central nerve channel as they go through the body. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shifting from side to side on the first pranayama that we're going to do. So we're going to take our right hand and we're just going to bring it up and we're going to block off the right nostril and we're going to inhale left nostril. Suspend up at the top now. And then exhale right. So we're switching nostrils back and forth. And now we're going to inhale right. Suspend up at the top for about a 4 count. And then exhale left. And just continue now at your own breath rate. But you're inhaling from the nostril that you just exhaled from. And that pause right up at the very top. And then just nice, deep but relaxed breaths. And we'll do this for 3 minutes. Got 2 more minutes. And now for the last minute of this pranayama, see if you can just still the eyes. See if you can close your eyes and bring complete stillness to the eyes. I know it's hard to do, but just see if you can still the eyes. Slight focus up and in. And then go ahead and bring your right hand down to your lap. Take a deep inhale now. Once again, suspend the breath. Pull up on the root lock. And Inger, if you're not familiar with this part of it, it basically sets the prana. So go ahead now and exhale. It sets the prana of the exercise that we just did. So the next part of this pranayama, I'm assuming that you probably know breath of fire. It's if you don't know it, I'll just explain a little bit. It's basically you're just kind of fluttering your diaphragm, and it sounds like this. It sounds like, so it's sort of a rapid deal. All right, so it sounds like you already know it. So let's bring our hands together at the heart center now. Put a little bit of pressure on the palms, create a little bit of pressure for balance here. And then let's begin breath of fire now for 2 minutes. Just a really powerful, steady breath of fire. And continue to bring the focus up to the brow point. You don't really have to strain your eyes. Just let that be a point that your focus is at. We call it the seat of the observer. Just observe yourself in this hour that we're going to be together. Just become aware of your own experience. There's nothing to change, nothing to do, nothing to even think about. Thirty more seconds. And then once again, see if you can bring still to the eyes. And now inhale deep. Suspend the breath, push together on the palms lightly. You don't have to really crush them, just a little more pressure. Suspend the breath. And then exhale and go ahead and relax your arms down now. Right up at the very top of the today, we're going to work mostly in the lower part of the spine, but I always like to loosen up the upper part of the spine. It gives the energy a place to travel to without resistance. So we're going to begin to work the occiput and the axial right up at the very top of the spine. And we'll do that with some really gentle head movements. So first of all, let's just begin to take an inhale to the left. Just look as if you're looking out the horizon. Inhale to the left and then gently flow it over to the right. Exhale to the right now. And then just continue with your own breath. Inhale left. Exhale to the right. And then go ahead now and inhale, come to center, and then exhale. And just imagine now that you actually have some ink on the tip of your nose, and there's a board in front of you, and you're going to be making a figure 8 symbol on its side. We're going to draw the infinity symbol on its side and let the very tip of the nose be the pointer. And this isn't, like a really wide circle or anything like that. In fact, it's almost so light that you can't see it. And the reason that it's like this is the smaller the movement, the more that it actually works on the occiput up in the very upper part of the brain. So just go ahead now and begin doing an infinity symbol. Slowly just cut that symbol with your nose in front of you. Keep the breath full. And now go ahead and come to that point at the very center. Still yourself, make an intentional pause. And then go ahead now and change directions. And then once again, find that point right at the very center. We'll begin working our neck in a slightly different direction now. Let's all inhale deeply. And then on the exhale, just drop the chin down towards the chest. Maybe it touches the chest, maybe it doesn't. The point is not really to touch the chest. The point is to open up the space in the back of the neck. Just let it become nice and long. Long, deep breath now. Just become conscious of your breath with this. Don't strain your neck. Just allow gravity to do the work. And also allow your face to relax now. Just let everything in your face relax. Our face tries to do a lot when we're doing yoga, our face and our neck, when it's really not needed. Just see if you can relax it. And now inhale and bring the head back up to that center point. And then on the exhale, we're going to drop the head now into the back space. We're going to open up the throat chakra here. The entire front of the throat is open. You can be looking up at a point in the ceiling. If your eyes are open, pick a point and see if you can stare at that point for 30 seconds without winking, without blinking. Find that point and just stare at it and allow the front of the neck to become wide open. And then go ahead now and inhale and drop the head right back into that center place again. And we'll begin now that our neck is fairly warmed up. We'll begin now by doing some neck circles. So go ahead and drop the chin down and then just begin in either direction. You choose the direction. Just begin to turn the head in nice, slow circles. Just think of fluidity, think of elegance with this. The neck is really a temperamental thing. You don't want to hurt it. But it really helps to keep these vertebrae up at the very top opened up and active. And the next time your head comes down into the center, go ahead and change directions now. We'll take it in the other direction. And now continue to make circles. And as you do, continue to spiral up and in. Make smaller and smaller circles with your head, maybe 5 circles until you eventually come to center. And then pause at center. And take a deep breath. And then exhale. And why don't, if you're in your chair, you can just stand up for a minute or whatever. If you're sitting on the floor, just give your legs a bounce. Or if you're in the chair and your legs don't need a bounce, you can just stay seated. We'll come back into easy pose. Try to be good to the legs here. All right. We're going to do a series of spinal flexes now, and these are all easy in a chair or on the floor. And with the first one, if you're in the chair, put your hands between your legs and your palms are flat on the chair seat. And if you're on the floor, your hands are flat on the floor and you're slightly leaned forward. The spine stays straight, head stays lifted, and we're going to just slightly lean forward and work back and forth on the very lower part of the spine. Just begin to round back. I'll turn sideways here. So the hands are on the floor. We're just working the very lower part of the spine now. Round the back in the back and arch the chest forward as you work. And the head stays level here. It doesn't really round up and down. It's going to be looking at the floor, more or less between your hands, or the chair seat between your hands. But the spine stays straight. The neck is slightly locked in place. We'll do this a little bit longer. Inhale forward, exhale back. Really important to time the breath with these exercises. Some of them actually make the body work like a bellows, and the spinal flexes and some of those exercises do just that. They squeeze out air in parts of the lungs that don't normally get used. So go ahead now and inhale, sit up straight. And we're going to bring our hands now onto the shins or one shin. And now you can, if you're in a chair, you can sort of keep your hands in the same place, but just wrap your hands around the front of the chair maybe. We're going to continue that same motion now. We're going to round back on the exhale and inhale forward. Now begin to bring your shoulders into this. You can sort of round your shoulders forward and squeeze them together in the backspace. Just full articulation here, and keep the breath nice and full. Once again, let it be meditative and slow, elegant, however you like to think about it, graceful. It's probably the only time in my life I've ever been graceful is in yoga. I've always been kind of a klutz. So just go ahead and meditate on whatever sensations arise in the body. Maybe you're focused on the breath today. Change the sound of the breath by closing the throat or opening the throat a little bit. And then go ahead and inhale and sit up straight. And we're gonna inhale deep now. Suspend the breath and pull up on the root lock. Pull the abs up and in, squeeze the sex organs, anus down, everything squeezed up and in. We're going to suspend the breath now for 15 seconds. And then exhale. And just go ahead and relax momentarily now. Notice what you notice. And this time we're going to do exactly the same thing, only we're going to bring it further up the spine by placing our hands on the knees now. And this time the shoulders once again are going to be in this. We're going to be working our shoulders with this, and we're also going to be rounding into the backspace, arching the chest forward. And if you have a sticky place anywhere, maybe it's forward, maybe it's backward, go ahead and stretch into that spot for a moment. And then just resume again. Nice full breaths as you do this. And then go ahead now and inhale, sit up straight, suspend the breath once again, pull up on the root lock, We'll suspend here for 15 seconds again. We're 10. 5 more seconds. And then go ahead and exhale now and relax. And we're going to continue on the lower part of the spine now, but we'll take 15 seconds here. And by the way, if there are questions, it's okay to unmute and just jump right in on me. I won't object to it if you have any questions. Somebody didn't want to do it the other day in a class I taught. Okay, so still sitting in easy pose. Let's go ahead and stretch out the legs once again. If you're in the chair, just give your knees a bounce. You can stand up and sit back down if you want. And then we'll come all the way back into easy pose once again. I promise you we won't sit like this through the whole class. Okay. This time our hands are going to be up on the shoulders. Our thumbs are going to be in the back and our fingers are in the front. And we're going to try to keep the arms level. That's a nice thing about video. You really get some feedback about where you are in space. So the spine is nice and straight here. We're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Nice slow motions to start with. We'll be doing this for 2 full minutes, so there'll be time to speed up later in it if you wish. This breathing from side to side and exercises from side to side are really good. I teach yoga at the Trauma Healing Project, and a lot of times what it is different parts of the brain are off balance, and these are really good exercises for bringing balance, bringing presence. Usually somebody that's deeply traumatized or even subtly traumatized has a problem being present in their own being, their own body. These exercises side to side really do balance things out. And now we're over a minute into it. If you want, you can deepen the stretch now that you're loosened up a little bit. You can speed it up. The head follows the body. It doesn't keep going. It stays straight in line with the spine. Keep coming back to the sound of the breath. And if it's hard to stay focused on your own breath, just come back to a simple mantra. Sat Nam. You can go Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. So if you were doing this exercise, it would be like Sat Nam, silently with the inhale, exhale. And now inhale straight. Inhale a little bit more now. Take in as much air as you can. Deep inhale. And then exhale and relax the arms down. And just momentarily become aware of any subtle changes that may have happened in the last minutes. Just come fully aware of everything that's going on physically. Just let the mind drift away and come into your body. Inhabit your body right now and see what that feels like. My teacher calls this the coconut. He tells me just forget the coconut for a while and just feel the waves in your own body. All right. So see, if you're sitting in a chair, we did this the other day, we're going to begin to do just some simple, we're going to inhale, take the right arm up to the ceiling. The left arm is going to drop right next to the hip here, or just maybe extend it out a little bit. And before we begin to do anything else, just stretch up, just stretch, deep inhale. And then just gradually begin to tip over to the side. We're not trying to really form a tight C shape here. I know people that can turn themselves into a C. All we want to do here is we want to open up the right rib cage, stretch the right lung from bottom to top. Long, deep inhale and exhale here. Your head can round over. And we'll hold this now for 15 more seconds. It's a 30-second posture. And continue to lift up as you tip over. And now let's inhale, both arms up overhead. Bring your hands into prayer pose, palms together, and just gently bring them right through the center of the forehead, down to the heart center. Pause at the heart center now. Come into the heart center. Come into your deepest intentions. And let's go ahead and drop the right hand next to the right hip. Sweep the left hand up overhead. And once again, before we do anything, just long, deep stretch up. Just stretch, 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 deep inhale. And then on the exhale, just begin to gently round over the side. Maybe this side you can go further, maybe you don't go as far. The point is just to get that left rib cage wide open, stretch the left lung, create space. And the space happens mentally, physically, all in the same time. And then if you're lucky, the link between body, mind, and spirit is just automatic if you're practiced at this. So deep inhale now. Take the arms up overhead, both arms up overhead, stretch up. And then bring the palms together, come back through the heart center, back. And then pause at the heart center once again. And bring your deepest intentions into your heart, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's long term, maybe it's short term. We have both intentions. My intention is to be as helpful as I can right now to my wife, with as much compassion and love as I can muster. Whatever your intention is, just be with that for a moment. All right, now with the hands still together in prayer pose, let's take the hands all the way back up overhead. Palms are still together. We're going to take them all the way back up overhead, just the way they were before. Now we're going to drop the left hand behind us this time. And we're going to drop the right hand onto the left knee. And we're just begin to stretch into off to the side here. Just begin by gentle stretch at first. Stretch the lower spine. You can stretch the neck. You can turn the head that way. And once you come into a nice, comfortable stretch, turn the eyes that way as well. Don't overstrain your eyes, but just continue the stretch with your eyes. Turn your eyes as an extension to your head, as an extension to your body. Long, deep breathing now. And then go ahead now and inhale and bring the hands back to center. Gently unwind. Pause at center now. And just take a moment, let your hands come down to your lap or to your knees or whatever, before we move on to the other side. So let's go ahead, deep inhale now, hands back together at the heart center. And then once again, hands up overhead, palms are still together. Drop the right hand down behind you, left hand to the right knee, and then just begin to gently stretch in that direction. Take it in little bits at a time. There's no hurry here. There's no limit to how little or how far. Just express your own body today, your own feeling. What we're doing now is we're wringing out the lower organs, kidneys, stomach, spleen. It has kind of the same effect that breathing into different parts of the body has. Put pressure on different organs and create space in different spots. Now go ahead and take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and unwind and come right back to the center spot again. And go ahead and give your legs a bounce, give your seat a bounce, whatever you need to do here. We'll take just a couple of seconds here to stretch out the legs, give everything a bounce, shake it out a little bit. And I'm going to come up in a chair now to demonstrate this. It's just fine on the floor. So if you're on the floor, we're going to be doing a life nerve stretch. If you're in a chair, we're going to extend our legs out now where our heels are on the floor and our toes are up. And if you're on the floor, you can just extend your legs straight out. And we're going to take a deep inhale up overhead now. And on the exhale, just bring the tummy down to the thighs. And bring your hands to wherever they come to maybe they come to your toes, maybe they just come to your knees. And let's just hold the stretch here now with some long, deep breathing. We want to breathe deeply into the back space now. So wherever you're at, try to get your back into a position where you can take long, deep breaths, especially into the back space. And if you can grab your big toes, that's a great way to activate your pituitary gland, put a little pressure on the toenail and the bottom of the toe. My teacher calls it the doorbell to the pituitary gland. It's just like pushing a doorbell. So if you can do that anytime, you can activate your pituitary gland. Just stretch a little bit more now. Now take a deep breath, stay in the stretch, and then exhale and just come down to your maximum. Maybe you're staying right where you are. And then inhale and just begin to walk yourself back up. And come up sitting straight again. And bring your feet now, if you're in a chair, out. I don't know, maybe as wide as you can. Maybe you have a 90-degree angle here. If you're on the floor, maybe you can get like a really wide angle. The wider angle you get, the better. But we're going to begin a series of moving through some space here. And you can use your arms up overhead as you come down to each foot, or you can just gently come through the center. But this is the biggest thing here is as you come to center, definitely pause. So we're actually pivoting, especially if you're in a chair, this is important. You want to pivot and then come down and then come up and then pivot and, actually take a moment to become centered again and then go on to the other side. It's really good that just that split second of coming to center, orienting, and then going to the other side. Inhale when you come up, exhale down and allow your thigh to push all the air out with your abs. Full deep breaths here, slow motion. And then go ahead and come to center. Bring the arms up overhead now. Deep inhale. And then exhale, and just let your arms come down through the aura. And we'll pause just for a moment here. So why don't we come up standing next? We'll do a couple of standing exercises before we go into our final layout. Try to balance things out a little bit. All right, so just come into your best mountain pose. Turn your palms forward. Nice straight spine. Lift up through the spine. Ground your feet into the floor. And just take a few breaths here and feel what it feels like to be really grounded to the earth, connected, open. All right, so let's inhale, bring the hands together at the heart center. And now we're going to bring our hands into what's called bear grip. So our hands are going to look like this. And they're going to be right in front of the heart center now. And I know what you're expecting. You're expecting this or something like that. But this time, we're not going that way. We're going back and forth out, right straight from the heart. And as you come out, really make sure to stretch out. I mean, take a moment to actually stretch the arms out and then bring them into the chest and actively pull them apart a little bit, squeeze your shoulders together and then release and then come back out. And just continue this motion now for about another 15 seconds. Keep a little bit of pressure apart on your hands, a little bit of isometric pressure here. And then bring your hands to steady at the heart center. And now we are going to do a little bit of this. So what we're doing here is the hands are going to stay at the heart center. We're going to keep a little bit of pressure together at the hands. And we're going to just begin to move side to side. See how level that you can keep your arms here. That's part of the trick in developing some strength, is keeping your arms really level, working your shoulders, keep your breath full. Work back and forth, a little bit of pressure side to side on the hands. Isometrics here, it takes in the whole shoulder. You can inhale up and exhale down, or however your breath works out for you in this. We'll go another 15 seconds. Maybe increase the pressure on your hands a little bit. Put a little more strength into it. And then go ahead and pause at center. Deep inhale now. Pull apart on the hands. Don't let them come apart. And then exhale and release. And once again, just come into a really nice balanced mountain pose. Feet are about hip distance apart, palms are towards the front. So everybody inhale together, please. Hands up overhead. Watch out if you have a ceiling fan. I have a ceiling fan. And now we're just going to take it right straight over, full front bow. When you come into a full front bow, a lot of people just drop over into a front bow. If you bend your knees, bring your stomach to your knees, your hands will be at the floor by then, and then straighten up your knees. Everything relaxes down. And then we're going to come back up and do another We're going to do about 5 of these. Hands are going to stay up over the head. You can interlock the thumbs. Deep inhale, go into the back space a little bit. Exhale, come all the way over, bend the knees, bring the stomach to the knees, hands to the floor, and then straighten the legs up and let the head completely drop. And then inhale now and reverse and just come all the way back up overhead. Deep inhale, stretch up and back. And then exhale and come all the way back over. Belly to the knees. Straighten the legs. Allow the head to come down, face to relax. And one more time now. Inhale up. Lean into the back space. And then exhale all the way down. And we'll pause in the down position now here for 15 seconds. So just allow everything to relax. You can cradle your arms, your elbows, but just allow everything to relax down. Allow gravity to just work here a little bit. Stretch the back of the legs or bend the knees, or you can paddle them out a little bit. And then take a deep inhale now. And on the exhale, just walk yourself gently back up your legs with your hands. Come back up to standing once again. And this one here will be a really good heart center opener. I'll turn sideways a little bit here to demonstrate. This is a multi movement exercise. The hands are going to be together in just light fists. We're not squeezing into fists. And they're going to be at our sides. Inhale will be back, squeeze back. Exhale, arms in front, and then we cross the arms over each other. Come back down into the back space. And then on the next move, we go up overhead as if we're throwing something over our shoulders, and then just begin all over again. And you can alternate which arm comes up on top. You can't really make a mistake in this. You can either follow me or make this be your own movement. You want to move the rotator cuffs in 3 dimensions here. So you can make this as active as you want. You can make it really slow, like however you want. Just express your own body feeling here. Maybe it's joy, waha, woo-ha, wahe guru. Surgery's over. Recovery begins. All right, so now please squeeze your hands back in this position. And squeeze everything now really tight. Pecs your arms. Squeeze everything. You might shake a little. Go ahead and squeeze. And then relax. And we're getting here pretty close to layout time, but let's just take one more gentle flow side to side, and we'll sow seeds from our heart center. So just imagine casting seeds out from your heart center. Come around into a nice comfortable stretch to the sides. Bring all the lower organs out once again. Deep full breaths. Maybe you're sowing seeds of love. Whatever you're sowing, though, just let it come out of you with joy. And let it be your own expression. Maybe it's an expression of your intention earlier in the class. And then go ahead now and just bring your hands together at heart center. And pause momentarily. And then we'll go ahead now and come into deep relaxation. You can either lie down or you can do it in a chair. It's really your choice. I won't be lying down. I will put on a little bit of gentle music to listen to. slightly meditative. So now just begin to sink into the floor. Allow everything to let go now. Every place where your body touches the ground, let it meet it and greet it fully. Maybe you need to wiggle around just a little bit to get more comfortable. That's fine. But just come into your best meditative, comfortable posture. We'll take some minutes here to do what the body does naturally. Reintegrate, reorient. So just begin just your normal breath now. And let each breath guide you just a little bit deeper. And I'm going to play a little bit of sound healing here. And as you're lying there, just meditate on your own goodness, the goodness that's in every human heart. And now, without moving anything, just begin to deepen your breath. Begin to come back into your own body, come back into your own sense of things. Just deepen your breath a little bit, and then begin to wiggle fingers and toes, small joints first. Gently begin to wake things up. And then go ahead now and roll wrists and ankles. Roll them in both directions. And then go ahead now and stretch your arms up over your head on the floor. Arms are on the floor, legs are on the floor. Stretch out long, long, long. Stretch, stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Continue stretching. And then go ahead now and bring your arms out so you're lying in a T shape with your arms extended long to the sides. And take your left hand and grab your right knee and cross it over the body. Take a spinal twist. Just take it over. Yeah, it's perfect. Take a couple of deep breaths there as well. Enjoy that stretch. And then as you're ready, stretch the other side. And then once you're ready, just come into the center position and roll everything into a tight ball. Bring your knees up, roll everything into a tight ball, and then go ahead and let your left leg go on the floor. Let your left leg go along on the floor. Give that a little extra stretch there. And let that go and give your other leg another final stretch. And then as you're ready, rub your hands together, rub your feet together, create a bunch of heat in them. And then cover your eyes with those warm palms. You can extend the legs back out long. Close your eyes in the palms. And then very slowly, gently open your eyes into the dim palms. And then just begin to move them gradually away from the face. And then you can come back up seated and we'll finish the way we began. And we have this nice little song that we sing at the end of class. Everybody up. Once everybody's up, okay. So let's bring the hands together at the heart center for the sunshine song and final blessing. Let's go ahead and pull them into the center of the chest. Once again, meditate on your intention. And the first time we sing this song through is for you. And the second time through is for the rest of the world. And I always like to include the people that I have difficulty with, which aren't very many anymore. So let's go ahead and take a deep inhale. And then exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. And inhale for sunshine song. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat. Nam. May we all stay healthy in these times. May our lives reflect what's going on inside of us. May we all awaken to the light of our own true nature. Sat Nam.